Good morning all, and welcome to your Monday morning cosmic cup of coffee coming right up. Otherwise known as Just Another Magic Monday, my weekly horoscope series posted every single Monday morning on my channel, 2:30 a.m. PST, 5:30 a.m. EST. This week we are discussing February 7th to February 13th and the good news that it presents. Cheers. I love spilling the tea when it's a good astrological week, don't you? We can just get excited about the week, set our intentions in the comments below. So let's talk about this week. Let's talk about it, because I say it's good, but how good we talking, Haley? How good we talking? It's nothing earth-shatteringly crazy, but there is this moving of stuck or stagnant energy. Finally, all planets are direct. All planets are heading full steam ahead. Keep in mind, they haven't departed their shadow periods, and some, like Mercury, are moving very slow, but alas, they are direct. Essentially, when planets are direct, it's forward momentum for us in our lives as well. I've been telling my clients this, so I apologize if you've heard this a gazillion times, but essentially the only time all planets will be direct this year is right now through the end of April. So if you want to launch anything, if you want to put anything out there, this spring is an excellent opportunity. Keep in mind, outer planets moving retrograde isn't the biggest deal ever. It's so common, it's more likely out of the year than not, but it is nice to have planets entering new terrain. It gives our own new initiatives a nice boost as well. We've got Mars trine Uranus, which is really kicking up any stagnant or stuck energy. We've got some yummy moon aspects. I'll be breaking it down. It's not too terribly eventful in the cosmos this week, but no news is good news sometimes. So let's start with the vibe check of the week. So if you're new to Magic Monday, essentially this is the part of the week where we talk about what the cosmos feel like, because I use a lot of these terms, sextile, Mars, and you might not necessarily have all of the knowledge within those little pieces. I do have a video if you are curious about learning more, but this is basically me translating the cosmos into a real life situation that you can feel into and be like, oh, I get that energy. If the words Mars trine Uranus are like, what? So this week feels like finally doing the thing that you've been talking about, or finally creating some positive momentum forward, and how good that can feel. And today's, I'm drinking tea to chill out and talk slower, because that's the most common comment I think I get across all of my social media platforms is, girl, slow down. And I try, but the tea helps because it reminds me to just take a sip, and just there's something about the tea, it's just very comforting and it reminds me to slow down. And today's quote on our little tea is, be brave enough to create a life of boldness. And that's sort of the vibe this week. We've got Mars, which is now in exaltation of Capricorn, and Mars is very that. It's very bold, it's very action oriented, it's putting our best foot forward. And with the trine to Uranus, we're beginning to sort of decalcify where we've been stuck. It's like inertia, right? It's like if we're lying down, like a person lying down, it's gonna wanna continue lying down. But a person who is getting up and taking those hot Pilates classes that they always said that they want to do, the person who's starting that YouTube channel that they've always wanted to do, that person who's starting that garden that they've always wanted to do, once you build it, get out of that sticky part where you're just like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I have to make sure I'm nurturing my garden. Oh, it's so awkward to post videos of myself online. Oh, hot Pilates makes me feel so out of shape. But with each class, with each seed, with each video, it gets a little bit easier every time. And with Mars trine Uranus, we really have this green flag from the universe to start to move forward with our initiatives, to put in some new positive momentum, because once you get past a certain threshold, it becomes second nature. You're getting up and going to hot Pilates before you're even watching Magic Monday. Just kidding, watch Magic Monday and then go. You're watering your garden and everything's blooming, and you're just casually giving your friends shallots and tomatoes that you grew from the garden. You're posting every single week on YouTube, and you're beginning to connect with a community. There's a power in consistency, and this is a powerful week to get on the right foot. We've got a boost of motivation from the cosmos, and remember, motivation isn't endurance. But with Mars in Capricorn, we can have endurance. So start it this week, get out of that sticky spot. It's gonna feel so uncomfortable putting yourself out of the comfort zone or moving towards that thing. But once you do, it becomes second nature. I'm reading this book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Dr. Joe Dispenza, you know, everyone talks about it. And I've been reading it, and it talks about how our brain has basically been wired to feel really comforted by our negative habits or our negative emotions. Like, that's our comfort zone, and our brain feels comforted there. So when we choose a different vibration, when we choose a different reaction or we choose a different habit, it feels tremendously uncomfortable. And forgive me for not having the greatest scientific terms for this, but essentially positive brain chemicals are released every time we go the path that we typically do. So it's like if we're faced with a stressful situation and we typically just have a meltdown, even though we're upset, right? And we don't want to feel that way. To a brain level, it feels sort of good because we're nurturing it with the behavior of what we always do. And it feels like there's this neuroplasticity this week, or this wiggle room for us to be able to rupture some of our sticky points or some of our stuck ways that we're ready to let go of. And this is going to be personal, what it is for you that you really want to build some endurance around. Maybe it's shedding a bad habit, whatever it is. I do want to know it. Please let me know below in the comments. Choosing that new vibration feels very uncomfortable. Your brain is screaming for normalcy. It's trying to keep you safe. So it's like, what is this new activity? Why are we in this warm room and doing all of these planks? Why are we checking our garden every single afternoon rather than watching TV? Why are we putting ourselves on the internet for people to judge us, right? It feels uncomfortable. But once you make that action and keep moving upstream and keep swimming upstream, even though it's uncomfortable, dialing in the habit, dialing in the habit, dialing in the habit, that's where momentum builds. And that's where endurance builds, because motivation like we have this week will fade. What'll keep you doing that is endurance. And that's what we're cultivating as we move into the rest of February. Friends, let's take it day by day. Please keep in mind that all times that I mention will be PST, as I'm located on the West Coast, and you can find timestamps below if you wish to come back and jump to a day. But cheers, friends. Let's make it a beautiful Monday. So good morning, happy Monday. It is February 7th, and we've got an exalted moon sextiling a Jupiter in domicile. So this is a time for feeling more optimistic, feeling like life is abundant and expansive. When we hear abundant and we think wealthy, but you can be wealthy in a myriad of experiences. So take some time this Monday morning to establish 3 things that you are grateful for. And I took a positive psychology certification, and essentially 3 things that you're grateful for sounds so corny, but doing that every single day has been proven to yield higher positive well-being overall. So it's corny, but again, it's getting yourself in the habit of like finding 3 things that you are grateful for that can really train your brain to process experiences in a different way. So start your Monday with some gratitude. We've got a rush of positive energy as the Taurus moon trines Mars and Capricorn. So Mars is also happy. So we've got a happy Jupiter, happy moon, happy Mars on Monday. Love it. So hopefully we're able to generate some happiness or some joy within ourselves. And the Taurus moon will trine Venus in Capricorn at around 4 p.m. So this is great for happy hour or grocery shopping or clothes shopping. Truly, Taurus moon is a material girl, and so is Venus in Capricorn, and they're making a harmonious flow of energy. So watch your spending for sure, but you can find more pleasure in shopping or just being surrounded by beauty. Nature would be great for happy hour, cooking a nice meal, anything that delights and relishes the senses. The Taurus moon will square Saturn in Aquarius, so might be kind of in a bad mood that evening. It doesn't exact until 11:01 p.m., so if you can get to bed by then, that would be great. On February 8th, we will have the first quarter moon from the Aquarius new moon. Let me know how that was for you below. And this is a crisis moon phase. And I don't want you to hear crisis and think like, oh my gosh, the world's in crisis, what's happening? No, it's typically just a moon phase that represents challenge. And particularly with Mars trine Uranus happening the same day, it feels like this tremendous catalyst energy. You know that moment when you're just sick of yourself? You're just like I am so sick of you, Haley. Like, another year has gone by and you have not started this garden. You have not started this YouTube channel. You have not gone to hot Pilates. Like, what are you doing? But it's like, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting, and getting out of a rut or what it is that you've been doing is incredibly uncomfortable. It feels like swimming upstream, but there's this energy on Tuesday where it's like, enough. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of a TikTok sound, which is like, I don't care anymore what anybody's gotta say. I'ma do me. I'ma do me. That's literally Tuesday. Around, we can't live our lives for other people. We can't live our lives just waiting and waiting and waiting. There is this need for agency on Tuesday. And some of the emotions that might come up that are the driver for the change might feel uncomfortable, like that feeling when you're like, wow, I wish I would have started this garden earlier so that my grandma could have seen it. She would have been so proud of me. I wish I would have started this YouTube channel earlier. Maybe I could have built income by this point. I wish I would have taken hot Pilates earlier. Maybe then I wouldn't have gotten that injury. I would have been more flexible. Whatever it is, change is uncomfortable. Changing our habits is uncomfortable. And whatever is coming up for you, where it's like you've talked about it, this is sort of week where it's like you finally are doing it. And it feels good. It feels good to build some positive momentum forward. It feels good to be finally doing what you've been talking about. And the Cosmos are there to support you. We've got a Taurus moon sextiling Neptune in Pisces in the morning time, making it sort of a dreamy, idealistic day. Then we have in the evening Taurus moon sextiling Mercury in Capricorn. Then we have in the evening the Taurus moon trining Mercury in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, since they are building to conjoin one last time. On Wednesday the 9th, the moon enters Gemini, which ramps up our communicativeness, our chattiness. It might be a little harder to stay on task. Social media could be a buzz, news could be a buzz. Especially since that Gemini moon will square Jupiter in Pisces at 9:28 p.m. That evening might be really hard to get off your phone or stop chatting. Or it might be hard to stop thinking. I would just recommend doing a brain dump of your journaling, of your thoughts. Just get it out of your system, process it in a linear fashion, because Gemini moon, it's answering to Mercury, which is slowly waking up out of its retrograde slumber. It's charging ahead, but your mind could be abuzz with all of the different ideas and inspiration, which is amazing, right? But it sort of happens late at night, so you just want to make sure that you're not like up until 3 a.m. doing macrame when you have to wake up the next morning, And the Gemini moon will also sextile Chiron in Aries, which feels like this healing energy around feeling proud of yourself and taking a moment to celebrate yourself, or at least just having that sensation around, wow, I'm finally doing what I wanted to do. I'm finally embracing where it is that I'm vulnerable or what feels uncomfortable, and I'm finally building some positive momentum in my life. It feels so good. Thursday the 10th is the more stable side of Gemini. It's being stabilized by trine to Saturn in Aquarius. So this is when I would set my meetings, set proposals, ask that friend who has a garden to pick their brain over a cup of coffee, maybe start to do some research online regarding your YouTube channel, maybe look into the different class packages at the Hot Pilates studio. This is a great time to use our curiosity, Gemini moon, and begin to plot for our future, begin to build this firm foundation around what it is that we want to create. Dreams might be kind of interesting Thursday night, as the Gemini moon will square Neptune in Pisces, and I would just definitely make sure to keep it at 1 glass of wine, because with Neptune there's like this energy around more. Just one'll do. Friday the 11th is the waxing gibbous moon. I mean, it's the moon phase through the weekend, but the waxing gibbous moon phase is all about building and refining and improving before the big illumination, the big shebang, the Leo full moon next week, right? And with this, it's this energy around noticing the little pieces that are coming together to make this vision. So it's like finally getting the seeds that you want in, finally booking that class and getting your little cute Pilates clothes, finally getting your mic figured out and getting feedback from your first commenters and sort of dialing in your filming setup. those little pieces around building something big, those little pieces around creating the big project. And those details are where a lot of people get stuck or get overwhelmed and sort of lose out on the momentum. But just know that every day when you take a step forward, keep choosing that big picture goal, keep choosing yourself, keep choosing your own potential, keep choosing your own dream. It really takes that daily decision. Luckily, a lot of the cosmos is helping you with this, but I promise once you get into this new habit and this new sort of energy, you're gonna feel so empowered and amazing. So you can skip to this if you don't want to hear me sort of ramble. If you just want to get back to the astrology, no worries, I totally understand. But I just wanted to share my personal connection to this week's vibe check. So I have a mentor, I talk to her every 2 weeks. She is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Denise. And I just got so sick of talking with her because we talk about like usually professional issues that we're running into, things of the like. And I just got so sick of repeating to her the same things. I got so sick of my excuses. I got so sick of me, really. Just kidding. I love myself, but I got so sick of allowing my lack of progress to be defined by my excuses. I was like, enough is enough. I'm sick of listening to myself. You're probably sick of me. And once I was able to put some momentum and start doing something that I've been talking about for 3 years, it is like I am powered by this whole other power source. Out of just being utterly sick of hearing myself complain, I finally took action and I finally put my focus towards something I've been talking about for years, and it feels so good to be doing something that you've always wanted to do, doing something that you've dreamt of for so long, and just taking one step forward makes the next step and the next step and the next step so much easier. So I'm wishing you all such beautiful luck with whatever it is that you're thinking about or working on, because we do have this golden opportunity within the cosmos around all planets direct. What is it that you want to create? The world is a blank canvas. What do you want to make? And we also have Mercury conjunct Pluto on Friday the 11th, which has happened twice before. It's part of Mercury's retrograde story. And it was that energy that I was talking to you guys about around obsession, but also tunnel focus. So there is this energy around getting obsessed with this new initiative. Maybe this initiative was part of your retrograde story around Venus retrograde showed me how little I value myself. I'm going to create some positive momentum to show myself I value myself daily by getting myself to hot Pilates, or by making my garden, or by attempting to go after my dreams, whatever it is. Maybe the retrogrades revealed something to you. And that's the positive of retrogrades, is that it generates all sorts of insights for you. And yes, sometimes things can get a little wonky, but it's not wonky for no reason. It's meant to reveal to you certain areas of your life that might need some attention and some care. And now that planets are direct, you have a green flag in terms of initiating the changes that the retrogrades have brought up. And with this final Mercury Pluto, just be mindful of your thoughts. Really try to speak to yourself in a motivating voice, be your own cheerleader rather than getting too down on yourself, because again, it is an uphill battle starting a new habit. No matter how good it feels, it's challenging to get yourself out of the rut. It's challenging to do something new. It's challenging to put yourself out there, but you just got to keep going and going and going. And for you to make the journey, you need to have a kind cheerleader on the way. And the best person for the job is you. So use the Mercury Pluto to research the topic deeply. Use Mercury Pluto to write that novel that you've been thinking about. Use Mercury Pluto to build that tunnel focus energy about what it is that you want to grow, but try not to use it to beat yourself up. And the moon will be void from about midnight on Friday to around 3 p.m., at which point it enters Cancer, drawing our awareness to our home, to domestic matters, to what makes us feel safe. And Cancer is also the energy of the past. It's the energy of nostalgia. So there can be certain temptations because we sort of have a little bit of a lazy weekend over the weekend. So there could be, that temptation around, I don't feel like watering, the tomatoes will be fine, or I don't feel like filming this weekend. Maybe I'll start again next week. And of course, care for yourself in moments that you genuinely need it, but notice where it's coming up because of laziness or complacency, or where it's coming up because of a genuine need to give to yourself in that moment. It's important to tell the difference over the weekend because Cancer is energy that is associated with the past. And again, it is uncomfortable to focus your energy towards building the future. Remember all of these placements in Capricorn, while Cancer moon just wants to reminisce the past. Like, wasn't it great when on the weekend we were just able to sleep in and we didn't have to go to hot Pilates? Or wasn't it great when this and this and this? Keep your focus on the future. Keep building, keep going. You've got this. On Saturday the 12th, there might be some sensitivity in the morning as the Cancer moon will square Chiron in Aries. It exacts around 11 a.m. So just be mindful, with Chiron in Aries and Cancer moon, there might be like playful jest and then some person takes it too far, or there's like some sort of comment that's made that you don't appreciate it. Know that with Cancer moon, we are feeling things more intensely. Just think back to the Cancer full moon we experienced not too long ago. Everyone was crying. Cancer brings up the feelings, right? It brings up the emotions. So with a nearly full moon, remember we're in the building phase, a lot could be coming to the surface with a square to Chiron in Aries. Try to be mindful of when certain excuses come up, or you're not good enough and that's why you can't do this hot Pilates. You're not good enough on screen so you can't have a YouTube channel. You're not caring enough to have a garden. Like noticing where that negative self-talk is coming up, especially with Mercury conjunct Pluto the night prior, and then this Cancer moon squaring Chiron in Aries on Saturday morning. Really important to guard against that. The Cancer moon will trine Jupiter in Pisces, which makes it a really expansive day to feel things deeply. So give yourself some positive stimuli, some time in nature, some time nurturing your craft, your offering, some time with loved ones. Cancer moon loves that. Some time with your pets, with your plants, whatever it is that feeds your soul. Great day for that on Saturday. The Taurus moon will oppose Venus and Mars in Capricorn on Saturday night, which is that battle that I mentioned around Venus and Mars wanting to build the future and Cancer moon wanting to reminisce around the past. So there might be sort of a tug of war between those. Feelings could be high. And this could also be an overindulging energy, so just be mindful for that. And Sunday the 13th feels like a very lazy Sunday indeed. We've got Cancer moon trine Neptune in Pisces, which feels like the just sort of day that you just want to stay in bed, you want to dream, you want to luxuriate, you want to do absolutely nothing. And again, it's important to nurture ourselves. Make sure you're honoring your commitments, whatever it is you're building endurance towards. But if you need to, sleep in, a great way to use it would be baking something or creating some art or going to church or praying or meditating, something that feeds the soul. And emotions may be intense that evening as the Cancer moon will oppose Pluto in Capricorn, at which point it goes void. So friends, make it a beautiful week. I'm so excited for this positive momentum to build within the cosmos. I hope you all start something amazing with it, or whether it's a positive new habit, a new self-care strategy, maybe it's building, the endurance to leave a relationship, whatever it is that you're building, there's going to be that feeling of, swimming upstream. But remember, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the goat. And I know it's a sea goat, but I always like to say that Capricorn energy is like a mountain goat, which gets up in the craziest ways. That mountain goat needs to have endurance, right? It's not necessarily comfortable. Maybe it is for them. They're always up there anyway, but just do the hard things. You can do it. And this week's mantra is, I maintain my endurance as I work towards my highest potential, because your own best competition is yourself. It's not about getting to the finish line. It's about unearthing more you from you. And it just takes that decision to begin to build some positive momentum, and that becomes our new normal. And if you're getting to a place like I was, that I shared, where you're just sick of hearing yourself complain about something that you know that you can change, this is a great week to start creating some positive momentum towards it. So friends, I'm wishing you all the most beautiful week. My Instagram handle is @HaleyComet_astrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.